this is not science fiction. What we're showing is stuff that is in our lab, in the labs of our partners. It's probably 2 to 4 years out in the estimate of our chief research officer. It's not something from Minority Report. Now, the thing here is, if it's 2 to 4 years out, we need to start imagining what can we do with these displays? How could we transform distance education, for instance? Okay? One of the most interesting conversations I've had, practical conversations I've had around these display surfaces with the Congress Party. They're very interested in their grassroots engagement to get illiterate or semi-literate youth in villages to actually interact with the party headquarters, okay? Because it makes access to computing so much more intuitive. And the final thing, and I'm sure I'm getting dangerously out of time, is democratizing access. What does that mean? You know, the cost of computing has really plummeted. If you think about what is the cost of an entry-level Windows laptop today, it's about 16,000 rupees, okay? Which is not a lot. It's dramatically more cost-effective. But even at 16,000, there are large segments of society which cannot afford access to a computer. And so we've been doing a lot of work on it. And one of the best pieces of work actually came out of Microsoft Research in Bangalore, where a young guy called Uday Pawar, who's actually Rajendra Pawar's son, the founder of NIIT, he went to rural schools in Karnataka and he found there are 10, 20 kids crowding around a single PC. And one kid takes hold of the mouse, and that's it. All the rest get bored and frustrated and log off. So he said, why can't we connect many mice to a single PC and build applications so everybody can share a PC? That was a success. But then we realized the machines are now so powerful, we can connect multiple monitors and keyboards, which are quite inexpensive, to a single machine. And we've released this product some months ago called Windows Multipoint Server. It's been a fantastic success. And I just want to take a second to show you this. Because again, this can transform our schools.
Like many teachers, she had only one computer in her classroom. But now it's going to be different, because Anne is using Windows Multipoint Server 2010. With Windows Multipoint Server 2010, she still has one computer. But now that one computer is powering multiple user stations, each with its own monitor, keyboard, and mouse. All her students will get a personal computing session just by attaching individual stations to the host computer. And because Windows Multipoint Server 2010 is specifically designed for non-technical users, it's easy for her to set up and use. It doesn't matter what station her students log into, because everyone's session is running from one computer. Everyone will get a Windows experience with features such as the familiar Windows Desktop, Internet Explorer, Windows Media Player, and more. This student can work on his book report, while another student is researching whales for her science project. With Windows Multipoint Server 2010, a single computer can run multiple stations. It's like giving each person their own computer. But it's more affordable and offers all the benefits of the latest Windows features. Windows Multipoint Server 2010 supports programs like Microsoft OneNote that let groups of kids work on the same project at the same time. When one student makes a change on her station, it shows up on all the other student stations almost instantly. Anne and her class have used Windows Multipoint Server 2010 as a learning tool throughout the entire day. Windows Multipoint Server 2010, giving all students the 21st century skills they need.
So the cost of access to computing should no longer be a barrier. And this is a way we think we can transform computer access in schools, in panchayats, and government offices, you name it, small businesses. And Chris, this is, I think, one of the really practical examples of what people are beginning to call reverse innovation, where an idea comes out of India and then spreads like wildfire to all parts of the world. We've sold more units in the developed world than we have in emerging markets. So these are some of the points I wanted to make. Let me conclude by just reminding you of a few things. First of all, you know, C.K. Prahalad, the late C.K. Prahalad, used to maintain India is a lab for innovation. And I am absolutely convinced of this, because the conditions for innovation couldn't possibly be better in any country. We've got everything. We've got these kind of really cool, tough scenarios. We've got customers who are demanding and understand value. We've got tough constraints. Overcoming constraints is a major source of innovation. We've got constraints like lack of infrastructure, low literacy, inability to pay, and we've got lots of smart people. So in India, we need to get ahead of the curve on these kinds of big shifts that are happening, tectonic shifts in the computing industry, and show the way for the whole world. The other point is, we like to talk a lot about innovation, and some of our companies have absolutely done a phenomenal job. But ask yourself, in how many of your companies is innovation actually on the CEO agenda? How many people spend a significant amount of their revenue on R&D and innovation? And when you look at the portfolio of innovation projects, how much is short-term incremental innovation versus risky, long-cycle innovation? The press in India loves to speculate, will the next, Microsoft or Google come out of India? Clearly, we've got the intellectual horsepower. But if you think about it, Microsoft did not make money on their our gaming console business for 10 years. Google spent years before they figured out their business model, which combines online advertising with search. Do we have the patience for this kind of long cycle innovation? If not, we better develop it. And finally, government policies do matter. None of what I've shown today is going to be possible with the kind of bandwidth and connectivity we have today. It's really quite appalling that a country of 1.2 billion people, a $1 trillion economy, has 7 million broadband connections, even after we generously classify broadband as 256 kbps. And the only reason it is so is policy and regulation. We've got to overcome that. Cloud computing, massive promise for our country. But if we don't get the regulations right on data privacy and security, it's going to go nowhere. The kind of scenarios I'm talking about where we transform healthcare and education through technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship cannot happen without a partnership with government. So we're in an interesting paradox. The first IT revolution from the late 90s to today happened because the government prudently decided to stay on the sidelines and allow industry to drive it. The next revolution, which we need, requires a much more proactive partnership with government. And that's really what CII, NASSCOM, all of us need to do, which is proactively shape the policy agenda. This is the first time we're meeting after April 16th, which is when C.K. Prahalad passed away. So I thought I should end with a quote from the great master. Thank you.